the library or to our kids by giving them what we gave them over there. We took a lot more time putting together a police station than we did focusing on education. I think our priorities are all out of whack.
That's why we're here. That's why we're here. We're trying to make recommendations to the city council to get these bonds and for everybody to vote on. That's why we're here. Go ahead.
I think you misrepresent a little bit. I've been here 20 years. We had a Friends of the Library. The library used to be in a, what do you call it, an ice house over this way, abandoned building that was falling apart. The city took over, built us a nice library facility there. The Friends of the Library, I think, fell apart or whatever. But, you know, we citizens need to get involved. You know, we keep saying, the city council, why isn't the city doing this? Why? We are the city. What do we do? There are more people in this meeting right now than there are in the city council meeting. I'm sorry to make public service announcements, but we've got to realize that we can't depend on them to do stuff without us giving input and without us standing behind them. We are real quick to say, oh, this is wrong, this needs to be done, why didn't you do that? But we're not there to help them make sure that it gets done. Thank you.
And so,
there's a sign-in sheet for the library in the back. Anybody want to help out?
I will gladly take any volunteer.
And so, I think that for some of us who's been living here, we come back, we expect the people who are home to take care of our home. We come back here and you have to kind of go back and go to work because now you kind of finish working, you come home, I know you got to go back to work because the people that you left at home, they didn't do the work. So I'm talking now because I'm here to help do the work as much as I can at the end of the day. And I think that we all, if we start pushing people to do what they're supposed to do, then they can't fall asleep at the wheel. And right now I think they did.
And that's why getting people out and helping her out. You know, so, ma'am?
Thank you. Mr. Patel, I just want to piggyback off of what she's saying. As many years as I served on the city council, we had not had this number of people at council meetings. I invite you to come to the council and make sure that the things that you want to see done, that you're there to let the council know what you need.
Absolutely.
Sure.
I have a question. Is this for a new building?
No.
Different? Oh,
Expansion of the library.
expansion, okay. Because when that library was built, it was built so it could be expanded.
Right, and see, the city is growing so much, and this is where I want, sorry.
It's okay. My
Thank
name's
you,
Derica Bailey.
Derica, educate us on what it is that the size of the library has to be for us not to lose the grants and everything else.
Okay, there is no predetermined size for the Texas State Library Archives Commission. What they do is they have recommendations on building size. Our current facility is about 4,500 square feet. According to most research out there, when you build a new library or when you reconstruct or remodel a library, you want to look 20 years into the future. Our population's growing. Conservative estimates for 20 years into the future, you're looking at about 30,000 people. That's conservative, guys. Very, very conservative. You need about 12,000 square foot facility.
And what is yours now?
4,500.
Sir?
So why are we not building a new library? The library that's there right now is not set up to be conducive to a library. There's no room for anybody to sit and study or to have any type of meetings.
And that's why we're recommending to expand it, to give it more room.
How much more room are we recommending to expand it to? She's talking 12,000 plus feet. You've only got 4,500.
It's about double.
We're,
Three times. Not 3 times. That's supposed to be 3 times.
So we're 4,000 square feet short.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
and money short too. And money short. Okay.
My question is for the librarian.
Yes.
I'm just curious, what kind of use do you get? I mean, do people read books anymore? Do they do internet? What do they do?
I'm sure that these slides that they took from my presentation will show you how popular we are. We are very, 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 very popular. We had over, I want to say, our busiest summer month was last month, and we had over 4,000 visitors for the month, close to 5. We only have 10 computer stations. We had 1,600 user sessions for that. Our circulation last month was over 2,000. We're popular. We're used. If you ever come to a story time on a Wednesday morning at 10:30, my parking lot is packed. This is one of our summer reading events. This was our first one with Officer Mulrady who came out. I had 74 people crammed in that room. It's popular.
We want to expand it. Ma'am?
May I suggest something? Can you put the animal place where the library is and put the library in that 7.5 acres? No, I mean, why not put a beautiful library in that setting? Come on. She needs 7,500 square foot, that lot's not gonna take it.
Right, Mr. Lemon.
The county, Bexar County has purchased approximately 55 acres of land at the intersection of 604 and Rocket Lane. And they're gonna build a county facility at that location. They're gonna build a constable, and the commissioner's gonna locate there, and the sheriff's department's gonna put a branch there. And they're talking about putting a bibliothèque there, and they've asked us do we want to participate in their bibliothèque. I have not been to one, and I guess I don't even know what it is. The county's asked us to
I can enlighten
participate
to
in
a
it.
certain extent. A bibliothèque library is Bexar County library system, and what they're focused on is ebooks,
E-books,
and only ebooks.
electronic books.
They do not have any printed material, and they very seldom have any kind of programming. If they do have programming, it's how to do your e-readers and your e-devices, or possibly computers, possibly, but they don't have as many as a normal library system. What you gotta remember is if we decide to go in with Bexar County, we need to be very careful about our funding. Very, very careful. The San Antonio Public Library System is partially funded by Bexar County as well, and they fight constantly over that contract. So we be very careful. We have our own ebooks, which by the way are popular, but not as popular as our printed material.
Sir?
I will say that Derek gave us a very in-depth, informative presentation when we toured the library. And I tell you, this committee, we agonized over the issue of this library an hour and a half, I think. And the challenge that we have is that we had to look at the money compared to what, I mean, I lived here for 10 years. I've been involved in the city every year. And I know that our voters are very persnickety. Y'all, we pick, right? Because we don't want to spend money on things that we're going to waste. So we discussed the challenge with the library in that we know that within the next couple of years, University is going to re-stand their library up, which means it's like right next door to where we are. And then in maybe a year or two from there, have a bibliothèque. Then we thought about buildings. We thought about this building. We even talked about relocating the library to this building. But then we discussed the issues with the foundation. So what we're looking at, and you were right, unfortunately, I don't think the animal shelter, I don't think the neighbors would like that very much, but I understand your point. So as you all mule over this, keep in mind that this is our city. You're involved. You gotta tell the council what you want and how you want it to be done. We've met, discussed it, we're gonna give them recommendations, but in order for it to come to fruition, as we've been eloquently presented with the challenge tonight, we have to get involved. But we agonized, literally, the other night, just an hour and a half only on the library. So unfortunately, I don't think money-wise, it's the most stressing option of what we need to do. But we wanted to do something to at least give her 5 or 10 more years of space to provide for the usage that she's continuing to get.
And if you're looking at a 5-year plan, that would be sufficient. If you're looking at 5 to 10 years of possibly building a new library, that'd be sufficient. If you're looking at forever, this is what we're gonna build, this is gonna be our library for the rest of the city of Converse, it's not gonna happen.
We're growing so much.
We are, that's why we need a new library.
Right, and we're not saying we don't agree with you, because we do. But right now, we have more pressing needs, okay? The library, you do great stuff.
I do wonderful stuff.
You do. And we're all impressed with it. Hold on a second. got this gentleman right here, so go ahead, sir.
Well, you kind of said exactly what I was gonna ask, very purposeful. And we're a small town, so we don't have San Antonio's budget, and I hear all the crying for money. Sorry, I'm a cheapskate, I'll say sorry.
We all are.
That library is not that old. I mean, I've used the library myself, and I appreciated being there. And, I think it's very, not forget what a book looks like.
Right, well, yeah,
But
and we agree.
this building, you know, it's got foundations on it, well, to the Converse. That's what we got in this town.
Right.
Repurpose the building, half the building is twice the size of the library. That's the
And we discussed that, that's down.
I think that would be my only
Gotta
concern.
build a new city hall before you build it.
Right, exactly.
If you slap a Band-Aid on it,
So-
5 years from now, we'll
Think about repurposing.
Sir,
If you expand the current size of the library, what are you gonna do about the parking? If you're providing that much more capability, as it is now, you go in there on Friday when she has one of those, kids programs going on, Friday afternoon, you can't park there. There's,
we do have a plan, and, we have talked about that as well. Okay, I mean, do the best we can with what we got, okay?
still we see
Bob,
the
we talked
Can't
about
make
this
us happy.
parking, the issue the other night, can you speak on that, please?
City regulations say that we can get, or library should have one space for every 300 square feet. So it's close. With the expansion to 9,000 square feet, it looks like regulations per standards, it would work. Based on what Derek is telling us, doesn't sound like it would. So,
Okay, our current parking facility is sufficient when I'm not doing a story time or a summer reading program. Okay, when I'm having a summer reading program, there's no space at all, people are parking on the side street. Or the police lawn, or the other business and walking over. But that's only during programming. So, for programming purposes, it's not sufficient. 80% of the time it is.
Okay, good. Ma'am,
Could I go back to the parks then?
the parks?
Yes. In lots of cities in America, you see the community getting together and they get carpenters, builders, and you have volunteers and they do children's play areas and the community does it themselves by volunteering. But they have whoever, the builders, whatever, to help them, to show them what to do. Could something like that be possible for these new lake areas?
I've done that before, yeah, we've built playgrounds that way,
Sure.
community playgrounds.
Right, right.
But that
I
takes
just-
the entire community to come out and get involved.
Right, yes.
So, and we do have a Parks and Recs committee as well.
Oh,
So,
right.
yeah.
So back to the library.
Next slide.
My
Okay,
question,
again, it's one of these reading times. I'm sorry.
Shouldn't we be looking for a lot that can support a library that can support a population of 50,000 people or something near that number? Why a lot that can hold a large library, since that lot is like tiny?
Yes, sir, and that's why we're talking about trying to expand it for now. But that is something that we labored over for a long time about, okay, should we ask to build a new library, or what do we have that is more pressing right now? Okay, so we did look at that. Okay, thank you. Again, another full house for reading time, or is that the magic show?
That's probably the magic show, it's that part of it. You can tell because of the daycare facilities always come out for the big performances. That's summer reading,
Summer reading?
definitely summer
Next
reading.
slide, please. Okay, here we go. Mr. Lambert.
Are you ready?
We're ready.
You want to talk about how to pay for it?
Yeah.
May I ask, I have a question here. I have a question, please.
Sir.
My apologies.
Yes, sir.
my question, John Mendoza, my question is, Dr. Reg, appreciate your